What's up fellow hunters, Nox here, welcome to another exciting build video. Today we're going to talk about the 3 best heavy bowgun builds for piercing ammo. You can choose between maximum DPS, extra utility, and extra comfort options. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the Demon Blaster version A. This is going to be our maximum DPS setup. I'm using a Critical Eye level 3 talisman with 3 level 2 slots. You can get that super easily with the Cycloss melding. And cool thing is, to get all the essential skills, it doesn't even need any slots. Weapon of choice is the Scored Magnamalo HPG. It has good slots and the best ammo capacity for Pierce level 3, which is of course the primary ammo we want to use here. The first thing we need to address are the gun performance skills. These are very important and can actually change your playstyle. We have reload speed, recoil down, steadiness, and ballistics. This will improve reload speed, gun recoil, accuracy, and range. A very important thing to know here is that we actually have ballistics level 2 even though it says level 1. That is because steadiness level 3 gives a range increase that is equal to ballistics level 1. And that combines with the actual ballistics skill giving us the effect of ballistics level 2. We also have Tune Up at level 2 which increases raw attack further when using power barrels on heavy bowguns. Now we're going to take a look at the damage increasing skills. Since we're using piercing ammo, the first thing is of course Pierce Up, increasing the damage of all piercing ammo by a massive 20%. Following that, we of course have Spare Shot, giving us a 25% chance to not expend ammo while firing. This will indirectly increase DPS as well. Outside of the bowgun specific skills, we have a ton of other damage increasing factors, starting with a max affinity setup. Critical Eye, Weakness Exploit, and Bloodlust will set us at 100% affinity on weak spots. Along with that, we of course have Critical Boost to get the most out of our critical hits. Next, we have Attack Boost level 7 for a big increase to raw attack. Same thing goes for Mail of Hellfire on the red scroll. This will give us another 15 to 35 attack depending on the level of the skill. We also have Coalescence, which will activate automatically with Bloodlust and add another 12 attack. Burst will add further damage as well since we're constantly landing hits. And then we also have Sneak Attack level 3. This will increase damage by 20% when attacking a monster from behind its middle point. This will happen quite often with bowguns since we have a bit of distance and can aim our shots. This skill is not essential though, so you can choose to replace it with anything else if you like. For example, a good option would be using Peak Performance instead. Powder Mantle is a really nice damage bonus here. The explosions can deal up to 1000 damage, which is great for extra DPS and stopping force. Aside from all that, we have a bunch of skills for extra comfort. Intrepid Heart, Stun Resistance, Evade Extender, and even some Blood Right for health regeneration on the side. If you feel like you need or want more Evade Extender, you can easily increase that as well. Altogether, this build hits like an absolute truck while being comfortable to play. It's a great option for any hunt. One extra thing to mention is that you can use the Amatsu legs instead of the Risen Valstrax ones. But keep in mind that you will no longer be immune to stun if you do that. This is what my current augments are looking like if you're trying to recreate a similar version of the build. Underneath the augmentation status, you can see which augmenting method I used. Cool thing is, we're using 3 pieces that can all sacrifice a skill to use one of the advanced augmenting methods. That makes things really easy because there are only 2 things that are really recommended here. Getting a triple slot upgrade on the waist by using the slot plus augmenting method, and getting 1 level of Mail of Hellfire on any of the parts. After that, you can decide if you want to go for more levels of Mail of Hellfire like I did, or go for anything else. The Evade Extender is optional as well, since you can also get that with decorations. Next, we have Demon Blaster version B. This is the extra comfortable setup. The skills in general are very similar to version A. We're now using the Primordial Malzeno waist instead of the Risen Shagaru one. Because of that change, we no longer have Bloodlust, which means there is no form of health drain in the build at all. Since we're not using Bloodlust anymore, the affinity setup is slightly different. We're now using Critical Eye, Weakness Exploit, and Maximum Might to reach 100% affinity. Along with that, we of course also have Critical Boost. All of the other damage increasing skills stayed exactly the same. The only thing missing is Coalescence because it doesn't have as much value here. Another difference is that we're no longer going for the Steadiness level 3 and Ballistics level 1 combo to get the Ballistics level 2 effect. Instead, we are now going directly for Ballistics level 2 as a skill. All of the comfort skills we had on the previous build are intact here as well. with Evade Extender being at level 2 by default now for even more mobility. As mentioned, Sneak Attack is not essential and can be replaced with anything else if you like to further customize the build. The augments are nearly the same as before, which means you can easily make both versions of the Demon Blaster build if you choose to make one of them. I'm using the exact same helmet, chest and arms, only the waist and legs are different. And the only essential thing here is getting a double slot upgrade on the legs. Everything else is up to your personal preference. Just like before, you can go for Mail of Hellfire like I did, or drop the skill entirely if you want. Next, we have the Arm of Chaos. A very high DPS build that comes with great extra utility. The talisman is exactly the same as for the previous builds. Weapon of choice is the Chaotic Gormagala HBG. With ammo up level 3, this bowgun has a pierce level 3 capacity of 6 bullets per clip. That is one less bullet than the Scorned Magnamalo HBG holds by default. But in return, we have access to more sticky ammo as well as paralysis. This build is my personal favorite for multiplayer. The extra sticky and paralysis ammo offers great utility when hunting with other players. You're gonna be able to create multiple openings for everyone to get free damage on the monster, which is fantastic. Since we're using the Chaotic Gore HBG, the affinity setup is quite different here. When overcoming the frenzy, the negative 35% affinity on the weapon will be turned positive and added to the 15, giving the weapon 50% positive affinity. Together with Critical Eye level 6 and Bloodlust level 1, that puts us at 100% affinity. The ammo up level 3 that I mentioned a moment ago will simply add one extra bullet to most ammo clips. This is not only beneficial for the piercing ammo, but also for all of the extra utility ammos we have access to. Another difference in this build is that we have Heaven Sent instead of stun resistance. When active, this will decrease damage we take from attacks, making it a nice combination with Intrepid Heart. Aside from that, all of the previous damage increasing skills and all of the comfort skills are intact here as well. This build is a fantastic choice for high level endgame content, especially in multiplayer. The augments are very similar to the previous builds as well. Essential is getting a triple slot upgrade on the arms and waist. That's gonna be super easy with the slot plus augmenting method. After that, you can again decide if you want to go for Mail of Hellfire or not. I do recommend going for at least one level. Here's a quick look at the switch skills I'm using. There's only one skill that I recommend never changing: Tackle. It's way too good not to use. If we don't have this in Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm gonna be really sad. Everything else is up to your personal preference. Setting Sun is a great DPS booster, but even that can be switched out if you don't like using it. It doesn't really matter what we put on the blue scroll, since we want to stay on red for Mail of Hellfire anyway. Here are some useful Dango combinations. The first two are gonna be for anyone that likes having Moxie as an extra safety net. And the third one is going to be for anyone that wants to go all out with attack. Each one of the combinations has temper, because all of the builds have enough levels of steadiness to compensate for the extra deviation. There are some crazy strong spread HBG builds coming soon as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.